What is up, everybody? I am privileged enough today to be joined in the studio by none other than Flo, aka Mordio. If you have not seen Mordio's techno channel yet, and if you are into techno, I absolutely recommend that you go check out his channel.
Thank you, mate.
We've been spending the day in the studio together because you're in Brussels right now visiting for a gig.
Yeah.
And we've been just jamming out.
It was fun.
Making bleeps and bloops on the modular.
Yeah, some modular stuff, some Ableton stuff, trying it all out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you have your own YouTube channel about techno, right? Could you tell a little bit what like your vision is? What kind of stuff do you do?
I mean, mainly, I would say the people recognize that it's a lot of sound design. Like, I really go deep into sound design and how to make with like stuck Ableton plugins the most you can do. I just like to use really simple devices and make it really complex. And I would say I'm really big digger for modulating everything.
Right, yeah.
So I think if you are into modulation, my channel could be something for you. Yeah.
Because you've had quite a big history with modular synthesizer stuff,
Yes. Yeah, I started a YouTube channel just like being an artist, wanted to put something on YouTube and just put like a lot of modular jams. And then a lot of questions came and I stumbled into this YouTuber being. From this on, I become showing a lot of Ableton tricks because of questions. And then I realized coming from 5 years, only hardware, no computer, I was like, wait, I learned so much about modulation now from the Eurorack that when I went to Ableton back, I was like, wait, why I cannot modulate this? Give me an LFO. And then I started modulating literally everything.
Yeah.
My faders, everything. And yeah, I run Ableton systems where like you can kind of line back and just listen to the creature, you know?
Nice, yeah. And when we were playing around earlier, I was a bit on the modular, you were a bit in Ableton, and you were finding that some of the tools that you often use, you didn't find them, right? Yeah. So let's have a look then together at those tools.
Okay.
Nice. Easy. Sorry for the interruption. This is Editing Oscar here. As I was editing this video, I discovered that in fact our screen recording just completely failed. So for this conversation, there's no screen recording. So I'm going to recreate in the screen capture software the examples as best as I can. And I'll try to combine that with the original conversation that we had. Wish me luck.
So what I have now is really simple. I just have an operator. And I put one of the first devices is the Snake sequencer. It gives you notes, gates, velocity, and some custom I go later on it.
Okay.
But for now, just for you, because you didn't know at all, speed, you can, like the classics, I don't want to go deep into this now. Just, you can randomize the notes and the gates separately.
Ah, nice.
And the velocities.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want that my triggers getting like randomized and the package what I have behind gets new trigger ways to just give me like more excitement. So sometimes you just need to change the triggers, and for this I think it's super handy. So like very modular, but if you want to make it even more modular, you don't use the sequencer like this. What I did here, I put the other frequencies in fixed mode, and now we go on the custom, and you have 3 different patterns that you can again randomize. And then map them on the frequency, and trust me, my friend, then the stuff sounds so much modular.
That's crazy.
Right?
Okay.
Volume in.
That's gorgeous.
Yes, that's why I was like, wait, why you don't know this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's one of the ways.
That's so much because like Ableton's LFO opens up certain doors, but this opens up that step sequenced feeling.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
And it's like in a really nice, good running device. So I just take that all the time.
Quick question. Some of these Max for Live devices, I've found that when I close the project and open it again, they don't give me the same results. You know, so if you find a sweet spot, did you find it like trustworthy? or
The thing is, with the next one, I'm sure because I use it all the time. But with Snake, actually, I cannot 100% say yes.
So when in doubt, bounce to
I
audio.
would always bounce to audio when I have a nice sequence.
Yeah.
I'm like what I do a lot of times is I'm making a creator channel like this channel right now.
Yeah.
And then record to audio and build out of this audio channels a track.
Super good.
So I never have this problem. This sequencer can make much more, but I just wanted to show you this simple trick.
That's already amazing. That's already amazing.
And Sting is even more simple, but this is sometimes what you need. Like, I don't know, you can just say, okay, I want 8 steps and density. You just choose. And then click, 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 click.
Oh, nice.
For short techno loops, it's a no-brainer.
But this is a series of triggers, right? And so, no. Is it doing pitches as well? No.
Does pitches too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's put Snake completely away, so the modulation is also away. You see? There's some pitch.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So it's a little sequence generator.
Yeah, it just random generates you the stuff. You have here the random type. There's like different algorithms. Don't ask me how they work. There's swing. You have the rate. I like 16 rates, but you can make the gates longer or shorter, what is sometimes really nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then you have a root node.
Yeah.
And
here.
density. You know.
Yeah, simple.
We will need that later for the next device, but.
Yeah, fun.
It's just fun and works so fast.
Yeah.
And you just click.
Instant inspiration.
Yeah, it's an inspiration tool, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, hey, do you have a nice trigger thing? And you didn't have Sting. I was like, it just helps. And what I'd like to do now is showing you a next device that I just found recently. And for this, we do the density really low. Look, he looks a little bit
sad.
A little bit sad now. He's like, why so less MIDI notes? Because now we're getting like this random trigger here. And it plays. Beautiful. And then we go into the new Soundtoys spaceblender.
Cool.
It's a hybrid between a delay and a reverb. But it's not really. It's kind of the information, I think, from a recording convolution. Thank you. I forgot the word. And it's like taking the room of a convolution, but just playing it like a sample. You can see this here really visual.
Yeah, wild.
And this is the classic reverb version. I make it 100 mix, so you can really hear the device now. And what you can do is the timing, super short. And in short, I think it's a really cool layer on sound design. Then you have texture. It's like more reverby or more delay when you put the texture low. And then this thing goes like super short until 1 minute. So if you want to make ambient textures or something, it can go. And then you have color for, I think, like more it goes to the right, more you have high pitch.
Yeah.
Put some textures in. Then here you get it a little bit more lower. I think we need a little bit more harsher sounds here.
Yeah, a bit more harmonics. It's a beautiful drone.
Already, right?
Wow.
And then you can, with the modulation, you get a little bit like not so loopy, like the way how it like goes from left to right starts to be a bit more modulated. And then you have this ball here.
Ah, whoa.
And imagine you modulate that.
Yeah,
and then you can make like this like blooms or reversed.
Okay.
And totally here. Making short sounds, giving a little bit more gate. You see how it just comes in, takes some time.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool sound design tool to just record stuff, you know, and making it far away. And when you
can absolutely imagine also if you put like a field recording through it or any like organic sounds.
Yes, field recording, then granulator, and this thing. Enjoy.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then you can warp mode on.
Yeah.
Then it have an impact on the time.
Yeah. Spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're into that stuff, and you even can sync it.
That's sick.
Yes, I know. So if you have now a beat going on,
Yeah.
you know, like, and yeah, the sync beat is here. Let's make it on 16. And then playing with the textures.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy thing, right?
Yeah, beautiful.
And now next, Slink filter. I can't believe that you don't know this.
Okay, show me.
It's a water-based filter. So
a water-based filter.
yeah.
What
so
the heck does that mean?
It have ripples.
Oh yeah.
And you can multiply them.
Oh, whoa.
And you see how crazy this thing goes really fast. And you can sync it or let it just free move. And it's constantly moving, also in sync mode. But if you put it like in not sync mode, and I think I didn't know that for a long time, and you put it completely the ray to the left, it's static.
Right.
That's also really nice because you have here in the advanced settings.
Because this is like a frequency diagram, right?
Yeah,
So I see 100 hertz, I see 10 kilohertz.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is this offset. There is the invert.
Right. Right now,
And-
it kind of looks like an EQ curve almost.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's kind of like, I think, many bands of
an EQ
of an
curve.
EQ curve or a filter, and then I think there is a way in here where you can actually see the steps, and then it just smooths it out.
Right. Okay.
And then here you have in the advanced also some really functional things like where you want the filter stop,
Yeah. Sure.
and then you can just cut that. So nice to have. Also stereo modes, how the thing face the filter movement is also cool, and then which frequency you wanna make it mono.
Okay.
Just that you saw that, but the modulation part is really interesting because you can assign them, and now you can start modulating the stuff.
Oh, freaking.
And what I like to do even when it's static, because
Yeah.
like the classic move is letting it playing, I don't modulate it with this. I modulate it with an envelope follower or something. Let's say we have this, and then we let our beautiful thing here maybe a little bit less, so we can hear still our amazing sequence.
Yeah.
And you modulate maybe the offset, and let's see, you have to put it before the filter for sure. And you see how much possibilities this gives you, you know?
Right.
It's just a really handy filter to get really fast modulation going on, you know? And I think that's why I was like surprised that you don't have that.
No, it's beautiful.
What I like to do is if you have something like the spaceblender or reverb or something,
Yeah.
and you
Have
put
this
it
movement going into
behind,
Yeah, you can smear that movement out over time and get something more rich.
yeah, but I like also is like when you close the gravity, like let almost nothing through it, like this, and then just let this frequency popping up
Yeah.
from what you modulate. It gets excited by the filter, and just let that frequency in, and then you can change kind of the sound source and the trigger signals completely random,
Yeah.
and get new ideas out of it.
Ah, yeah, fun.
You know, so the concept that you actually showed me.
There's the triangle method.
Yeah, it is. It's totally that, because
Yeah.
you have this section, the sound source section, and
Yeah.
then there's like what I would add the modulation section.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
where you
yeah.
just modulate these three components.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then play with interaction of all of these things.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's a beautiful sound. I'm
And-
gonna turn it up just to
Yeah,
enjoy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
So yeah, all of this super easy to just make really interesting modulation, and I think no-brainer devices that you should check out because
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's
Man,
super
of course.
cool. That's super fun. I like that you brought it back to the triangle method because it's something on the channel I'm trying to talk about quite a bit. So just if people haven't watched those videos, I did some videos about this method to get this kind of sound designy result where you take any sequence and you put it into any sound source and you put it into any effects chain, and then you bounce between those 3 levels, making changes until you hit some kind of a sweet spot.
Yeah.
And when I was showing you that earlier, you were like, oh, I think there should be more of an emphasis also on modulation of all 3 of those levels.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's a super good perspective.
Because there's this moment where you're like, okay, I'm loving like the sound source I have now. Let me change the effects. So I like the effects and the sound source. Let me change the trigger, right? I always say trigger because I come from Eurorack, right?
Yeah, sure.
So you have the sequences. But then when you like all of this, there's this moment where you have to jam it in or do something with it, or you start to modulate all of these components so they start to getting a symbiose.
Yeah,
you know?
Love that.
And I think a Slink filter is a perfect example how modulation is like visual, really nice, give you ideas.
Yeah.
Because I like what we have here right now is also, it's a short little click sound that just get rounded by this movement from the filter, and it makes this little simple tuk tuk sound to like a beautiful like whoop, whoop. And I think that's makes it more natural.
That's a super cool
And then
approach.
also when you have the reverb away, you hear how the sound sounds much more like a, I don't know,
very physical.
Yeah.
Something that comes just out of Operator, because Operator is very digital in many ways, right? And
yeah, we're pushing here like around, I don't know, 200 hertz or something. Just boom, boom. And let some highs through. And without the filter,
Yeah.
It's the same sound, but it gives me a little bit of a groove.
Yeah.
And this thing's in layer with a nice groove. Like percussions also, I round like this sometimes, and it's like really like it just gives you like a nice groove.
Hell yeah. Thanks so much for sharing this.
Man, always.
If you haven't checked out Mordio's channel yet, please do. An absolutely crazy, detailed approach to sound design and techno. Beautiful way of looking at things.
Man, thanks for having me on the channel.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Nice.
Yeah.
High five. This is how we do videos.
That was wicked, yeah.